So let me ask you, Steve, I know you mentioned that they can sell it right away, the PR. However, did you say that the will has to be set up to give the PR permission to do that?
Yes, there
Okay.
has to be the language in a will that basically it illustrates the powers of the personal representative. And typically, if the will is done by a South Carolina lawyer, it's going to be there.
Okay.
That the personal representative has the authority to sell both real and personal property. Sometimes we'll get a will that doesn't have that authority.
Yeah,
in the
tell
will.
me about that.
So if the personal representative does not have the authority in the will to sell the real property, then basically you can file a petition with the probate court asking them to allow the personal representative to sell the property. Or the property, if the will leaves the property to the 3 children, then we can do what's called a deed of distribution from the estate to the heirs under the will. So then
Wow.
the property would be distributed from the estate to these heirs, and then they would be the sellers of the property. But it's a lot easier when the will gives the PR the authority to sell real
Okay,
estate.
gotcha. Well, let me ask you, Steve, then. So if the will gives the PR the authority to sell, you just explain that process, and you also explain the process of if it did not give the PR authority to sell. Is there a difference in the time frame for those 2 options based on how the will is set up?
If the children decide that that's what they want to do to sell the property, obviously it's a little bit quicker if the will gives the PR the authority
Sure.
to sell the property, because once he gets appointed by the probate court, then he can start that process of listing and selling the property.
Right.
If the will does not give you the PR the power to sell the property, then you have to go through a proceeding with the probate court to, seek a permission or an order from the probate court authorizing the PR to sell. Typically, if the other heirs, the other 2 children want to sell the property, it can be done by consent. You just submit a consent order to the probate court, and that'll shorten that time frame. But it's going to take longer if the will does not give the PR the power to sell.
Right. It's going to take longer,
Yeah.
naturally speaking.